Long ago, in a world very different from our own, a great story unfolded. It was a time when people had forgotten how to be kind and good to one another. Instead, they chose to be selfish and mean, turning the world into a sad and dark place. High above, watching over everything, was God. He saw how bad things had become and felt deeply saddened by what he saw. But amidst all the darkness, there was one man who stood out. His name was Noah. Noah was not like the others. He was kind, he cared for his family, and he always tried to do what was right. Because of his goodness, God took notice of him. One day, God spoke to Noah. He told him about a big plan to wash the world clean with a great flood. But because Noah was good, God wanted to keep him and his family safe. God gave Noah a special task: to build a huge boat called an ark. This wasn't just any boat. It needed to be big enough to hold Noah's family and two of every kind of animal in the world. Noah got to work, even though the people around him couldn't understand why. They laughed at him, thinking he was silly. But Noah didn't mind. He trusted God and kept building the ark, plank by plank. As Noah worked, the landscape around him was a sight to behold. The warm, earthy tones of the desert stretched as far as the eye could see. Traditional buildings dotted the horizon, their sun-baked walls blending seamlessly with the sandy terrain. Noah himself was a sight to behold. His curly hair and flowing robes moved gently in the desert breeze. As he worked tirelessly on the ark, his face, though weathered by the sun, always held a kind expression, his eyes twinkling with determination and faith. Day after day, Noah and his family labored. They cut wood, shaped planks, and carefully assembled the massive vessel. The ark began to take shape, its immense size dwarfing everything around it. People would stop and stare, pointing and whispering among themselves. Some even came to mock Noah, but he remained focused on his divine task. As the last nail was hammered into place, something amazing happened. Animals started arriving in pairs. Lions with their majestic manes, elephants with their swaying trunks, giraffes with their long necks, and even tiny insects, all lined up to board the ark. Just as God had said, two of every kind of animal in the world came. Noah and his family helped the animals find their places inside the ark. They made sure that all the creatures were comfortable, creating special areas for each species. The inside of the ark was a marvel, with multiple levels and compartments designed to house this incredible menagerie. As the last of the animals settled in, dark clouds began to gather on the horizon. The air grew heavy with the promise of rain. Noah knew it was time. He called to his family, and they all entered the ark, closing the massive door behind them. Then, the rain began to fall. At first it was just a light drizzle, but soon it turned into a torrential downpour. Water cascaded from the heavens in sheets, and the ground began to disappear beneath the rising flood. Inside the ark, Noah and his family tended to the animals. They fed them, cleaned their areas, and made sure everyone was safe and calm. The sounds of the storm outside were muffled by the thick wooden walls, but they could still hear the wind howling and the water rushing. Days turned into weeks, and still, the rain fell. The water rose higher and higher, covering the tallest mountains. The ark floated safely on the surface, carried by the currents of the great flood. Noah would often look out of a small window, watching the water stretch endlessly in every direction. He wondered about the world they had left behind and what new world awaited them when the waters receded. Inside the ark, life went on. The animals, once natural enemies, lived together in peace. Lions lay down with lambs, and wolves shared space with sheep. It was as if they understood the importance of their journey and the need for harmony in their floating sanctuary. Noah's family worked tirelessly to keep everything running smoothly. They distributed food, cleaned the living areas, and cared for any animals that fell ill. It was hard work, but they did it with love and dedication, knowing they were part of something much bigger than themselves. As the days passed, Noah would gather his family each evening to pray and give thanks. They would sit together, surrounded by the soft sounds of the animals, and reflect on their incredible journey. These moments of quiet reflection helped them stay strong and united through the long days at sea. Finally, after many days, the rain stopped. The world became quiet, save for the gentle lapping of waves against the ark. Noah sent out a dove to search for dry land. The first time, it returned empty-handed. The second time, it came back with an olive branch in its beak, a sign of hope. When the dove didn't return on its third flight, Noah knew it was time. Slowly, carefully, he opened the door of the ark. Sunlight streamed in, illuminating the faces of Noah, his family, and all the animals. They blinked in the bright light, taking in the sight of a world reborn. As they stepped out onto dry land, they were greeted by a breathtaking sight. A brilliant rainbow arched across the sky, its colors vivid against the clearing clouds. God spoke to Noah once more, promising never again to flood the entire earth. The rainbow would stand as a symbol of this covenant between God and all living creatures. Noah and his family began the task of releasing the animals. Pair by pair, they left the ark, eager to explore their new home. The air was filled with the sounds of bird calls, animal cries, and the rustle of creatures large and small, making their way into the lush, renewed world. With gratitude in their hearts, Noah and his family set about building a new life. They planted crops, tended to the animals that stayed with them, and began to populate the earth once more. The world was fresh and clean, full of promise and potential. As they worked and lived in this new world, Noah often thought back to the incredible journey they had been through. He marveled at the faith that had carried them through the flood and the love that had kept them strong. He knew that their story would be told for generations to come, a testament to the power of trust, obedience, and the enduring bond between God and His creation. And so, the story of Noah's Ark became a legend, passed down through the ages. It serves as a reminder of the importance of faith, the power of second chances, and the beauty that can come after the storm. In every rainbow that graces the sky, we see a reflection of that ancient promise, a covenant of hope for all of creation.